Hi, everybody. Scott Fuller here with another edition of the East Bay Real Estate Market Minute. We've got a great episode for you today. I've got Brian Linchey here with Mason-McDuffie Mortgage Branch Manager. And we're going to be talking about a little bit of a strategy that you can use if you're a home seller. Your home is not selling, but you're looking to, instead of doing a full large price reduction, what you can do to be able to get more buyers interested in your home and be able to help them out as well as helping yourself out. So Brian, appreciate you joining us today.
My pleasure, Scott. Happy to be here.
All right, thank you. Okay, so let's take a scenario. Let's say that you have a property that is listed for $1 million and it's just not selling. It's been on the market for 30 days. You're getting some good showings, but for whatever reason, it's not selling. And maybe some of the feedback is that the price is just a little bit high. The first thing that you're probably going to think about doing, or maybe your listing agent's going to recommend, is to reduce the price. So they might say, okay, let's take that price from $1 million. Let's drop that down maybe to $960 or something like that. Of course, we're going to be looking at some market comparables to find out where we need to be.
Yeah.
So one strategy that Brian, I know we've talked about and we've used before, is to be able to put together a scenario where instead of doing a large price reduction, we're doing a interest buy down for the buyer to be able to reduce effectively what's going to be their mortgage payment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say, for example, if we, and here's the thing is, a lot of times when you have a price reduction on a property, it's helpful because you're able to then remarket the property to, a pool of buyers or to the general public to let them know, hey, we've got this property. It's, we're going to be doing a price reduction. Then it's an opportunity for the listing agent to go out and let everybody know, hey, we've reduced price. Come back and take a look at it. Give us another opportunity to show you that this home is a fantastic home. So Brian, let's talk about maybe what that scenario looks like a little bit. So if we were to take, a situation to where we had a listing price of $1 million,
Right.
and if we were to reduce that down, let's say to $960,000,
Right.
that's going to give, the seller's accepting less money.
Yeah, 40,000 less.
They're going to accept $40,000 less, but there's an opportunity instead of the seller getting, losing $40,000. Maybe they're going to pay, a couple points, 2.5 points to buy down the buyer's interest rate,
Right.
which may only cost them $22,000 to do instead of $40,000 price reduction. They do a $22,000, buy down,
Yep.
and then the benefits of that is pretty significant in a lot of cases.
Absolutely.
They're reducing their payments. So what might that look like?
Well, with the interest rate reduction buy down, it can lower that interest rate by 5/8 to maybe even 3/4 of a point, and that can have a significant impact on the client's payment.
Yeah.
And in turn, with a lower payment, you can open yourself up to a whole new set of buyers that may not have been looking at your property. Now they
Absolutely.
can. Yeah.
Because in a lot of cases, there's a lot of buyers who couldn't qualify because their back-end debt-to-income ratios for qualifying for the loan at $800,000, they were too high.
Yes.
So in a lot of these cases, and we kind of ran a quick scenario here, if you were to reduce, if you were to do a $22,000 buy down, that comes out of this that the seller is willing to pay, that can reduce the interest rate quite a bit to the point to where, they're going to be saving the buyer a few $100s a month.
Exactly.
So now you've opened it up to some buyers who maybe were on the cusp of being able to qualify but couldn't quite.
Yes.
Now we're reducing that payment, so it opens that up to buyers as well.
Exactly. And in this price range, Scott, a lot of these are what we call non-QM loans. They're a lot more restrictive. So that debt to income ratio has to be at 43% or less. So
Right.
There's not a lot of fudge room with many lenders there. So yeah, every dollar counts when it comes to qualifying. So it becomes a win-win situation. A buyer gets into a property they might not otherwise been able to get into. You as a seller are able to sell the home and not do as much in a price reduction, but still keep more money in your pocket.
And another strategy is to do both. So instead of doing, a price reduction from $1 million to $960, maybe you do $1 million to $990, and that allows an opportunity to be able to still get the price reduction out on the open market to get a lot of interest, generate interest back to the property, but then also maybe do, for example, a $15,000, buy down of the buyer's interest rate.
Yep.
So that still can save them a couple $100s a month. And it would be your listing agent's job to be able to market that to the open market, as well as potential buyers agents to say, hey, we're doing a price reduction, but we're also going to, reduce your buyer's payment, which in the
That's
long
huge.
run benefits the buyer, saves the buyer a lot of money versus what, if they were just to do a price reduction at 960, it's going to save the buyer more money.
Yep.
It's going to allow the seller to not have to reduce as much and keep more in their pocket.
Yeah.
So in a lot of
True
cases,
win-win.
it really is a win-win.
Yeah.
So, if you'd ever like to look at the scenario of how this works or go into a little bit more detail, Brian's got some awesome programs that can help to put together, scenarios to say, here's the benefit to you as a seller, or if you're a buyer, here's the potential benefit to a buyer on what this might look like, if you were to use a strategy, if you're to put in an offer, maybe on a property that you're looking to purchase.
There you go. Exactly.
So maybe you can kind of use it in a reverse strategy. If you're buying a property, instead of coming in a lot lower and offending the seller on what their list price is,
come in full.
Mr. Seller, we're going to come in full. We're not going to come in at a reduced price, but we're going to ask for a buy down, which is going to benefit us, and it's also going to benefit you because you're still getting effectively your full price minus just a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Agreed. So great strategy.
Okay, excellent. Well, Brian, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Hope that was some great information for you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let us know. And until next time, we'll see you at the next episode. Take care.